setting the foundation for inner peace. Meditation begins with a delicate journey inward, one that asks us to leave behind the noise of the world and create space within for stillness to unfold. This stillness is not a mere absence of sound, but a profound presence of calm. As we enter this space, we recognize that peace is not something we must strive for. It is a state already within us, waiting to be uncovered. In the words of Rumi, the quieter you become, the more you are able to hear. As the mind gently releases the distractions of the day, a new awareness emerges, one rooted in the present moment. This awareness is like a calm lake, reflecting everything clearly, but undisturbed by the ripples of thought. Here, we begin to witness our thoughts not as overwhelming storms, but as passing clouds. They float through our consciousness, but they do not define us. This is a space of observation, where we can see thoughts as transient and let them pass without attachment. As Eckhart Tolle says, the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. In this first step of meditation, the breath becomes our guide. Each inhale is a reminder of life's rhythm, and each exhale a gentle release, a surrender. We are reminded that life itself moves in cycles of receiving and letting go. The breath connects us to the present, anchoring us in the here and now, where peace can truly be found. Breath is the bridge which connects life to consciousness, says Thich Nhat Hanh, which unites your body to your thoughts. As we focus on the breath, we become more aware of our physical body, of the sensations that quietly persist beneath our awareness. The warmth of the body, the subtle energy that flows through us becomes more vivid. We might feel the tension stored in different areas, tension we carry from stress, emotions, or even old patterns of thought. Yet as we breathe, these tensions begin to soften, melting away as if washed by a gentle stream. This is the body's natural response to mindfulness, a reminder that relaxation comes not from force but from gentle awareness. In this space of stillness, there is no need to rush or to force an outcome. Instead, we learn to trust in the process of simply being. As we observe our thoughts, our body, and our breath, we begin to let go of the need for control. We allow things to be as they are, accepting each moment without judgment. This acceptance opens the door to deeper relaxation and insight. The spiritual teacher Ram Dass once said, "The quieter you become, the more you can hear." In this quiet, we begin to hear the truths that have always been within us. At the same time, meditation teaches us that we are not separate from the world around us. Just as the breath flows in and out, connecting us to the rhythm of life, we are connected to the universe. Deeper journey into peace. We set aside the distractions, the noise, and the worries of the external world, and we begin the process of reconnecting with our inner self. It is a journey of self-discovery, one that reminds us of our own strength, wisdom, and capacity for love. As we continue, this inner peace will grow, and we will come to understand that the calm we seek has always been within us. As Buddha said, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. Deepening the connection with inner stillness. As we continue our journey inward, the connection with our inner stillness becomes more profound. In this stillness, we begin to perceive the layers of our mind and emotions with greater clarity. It is here, in the quiet depths, that we come to understand the patterns that shape our thoughts and reactions. These patterns, often subconscious, can be like waves on the surface of an ocean, constantly moving but unable to disturb the deep waters beneath. As we descend into these depths, we find a vast, unshakable calm. It is in this space that we begin to recognize the nature of our thoughts. Like clouds passing through the sky, they are transient, ever-changing, and impermanent. They do not define us, and we are not bound by them. The 14th Dalai Lama reminds us, do not let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace. This insight can be extended to our own minds. Do not let the fluctuations of your thoughts destroy your inner peace. In this part of the meditation, we simply observe. We do not attach, we do not resist. We witness, and through this witnessing, we gain freedom. As we observe, we might notice certain emotions rising to the surface. Perhaps they are feelings of tension, frustration, or unresolved fears. These emotions, like thoughts, are not permanent. They are visitors, passing through our awareness. By acknowledging them without judgment, we allow them to move through us, rather than being held captive by them. Feelings are just visitors, said Mooji. Let them come and go. This is the essence of meditation, not to cling, but to release. With each breath, we become more attuned to the present moment. The past no longer holds power over us, and the future is no longer a source of anxiety. The only reality is the now, and in this now we are safe, we are whole, we are at peace. As Jon Kabat-Zinn, a pioneer of mindfulness, once said, "Wherever you go, there you are." In this moment, we are fully present, fully aware, and this awareness is enough. The body, as the mind quiets, begins to feel lighter, more expansive. Sensations that once felt heavy or tight dissolve into the background. In their place is a sense of spaciousness, of openness. This is the body's way of responding to the mind's relaxation. As we let go of mental tension, physical tension follows. The breath flows more freely, the muscles soften, and the entire being feels lighter, more grounded in the present. This process of physical relaxation reinforces the mental stillness we are cultivating. Tension is who you think you should be. Relaxation is who you are, as the Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu so wisely said. In this phase of meditation, we might begin to sense the deeper layers of our being. Beneath the surface thoughts and emotions lies something more constant, more enduring. It is the quiet, steady awareness that has always been with us. This awareness is not concerned with the ups and downs of daily life. It is the witness, the observer, and in its presence we find an unshakable peace. At the still point of the turning world, wrote T.S. Eliot, there the dance is. In this stillness we find not only peace but a profound vitality, a sense of being fully alive and connected to the flow of life. As this connection deepens, we may feel a growing sense of unity with the world around us. The boundaries between self and other begin to fade, and we experience ourselves as part of something much larger. The universe, vast and infinite, is not separate from us, it is within us, and we are within it. As the mystic poet Rumi beautifully expressed, "You are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop." This realization brings with it a deep sense of belonging, a feeling of being at home in the world. In this second part of the meditation, we allow ourselves to sink deeper into this sense of unity. We are no longer just a body or a mind. We are a part of the great web of life, connected to all living things. This connection brings with it a profound sense of compassion, both for ourselves and for others. We begin to see that the struggles we face are not unique to us. They are part of the human experience, shared by all. This realization softens our hearts and allows us to approach ourselves and others with greater kindness and understanding. "We are all just walking each other home," said Ram Dass, reminding us that we are never truly alone. As the mind quiets further, we become aware of a deep stillness that pervades everything. This stillness is not empty, it is filled with potential and possibility. It is the fertile ground from which all creativity, insight, and wisdom emerge. When we allow ourselves to rest in this stillness, we discover that many of the answers we've been seeking in the outside world are already within us. This is the clarity that meditation offers, a direct experience of the truth, unclouded by the noise of the mind. In this state of clarity, we also become more aware of the patterns and habits that have shaped our lives. We begin to see with great compassion the ways in which we have limited ourselves through fear, doubt, or attachment. These patterns, while they may have served us in the past, are no longer necessary. In meditation, we gain the clarity to recognize these patterns for what they are and the strength to release them. As Rumi so wisely wrote, "Why do you stay in prison when the door is so wide open?" The more we rest in this clarity, the more we come to understand that true freedom is not found in changing our external circumstances, but in changing our relationship to them. We realize that we are not victims of life, but co-creators of it. Every thought, every intention, and every action contributes to the reality we experience. With this understanding comes a sense of empowerment. We are no longer at the mercy of our thoughts or emotions. Instead, we choose how we respond to life's challenges. As the Buddha said, "What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create." This clarity also brings with it a sense of lightness and joy. We begin to see that life, in all its complexity, is ultimately a dance of energy, constantly shifting and changing. We no longer feel the need to control every aspect of our experience. Instead, we learn to flow with the natural rhythms of life, trusting that everything is unfolding as it should. This trust allows us to relax more deeply into the present moment, where true joy is found. "Joy is not in things," wrote Richard Rohr. "It is in us." As we deepen our connection to this clarity, we may also notice a sense of spaciousness opening up within us. This spaciousness is the natural result of letting go of the need to control, letting go of attachment to outcomes, and letting go of the stories we tell ourselves about who we are. In this spaciousness, we find freedom. We are no longer confined by the limitations of our mind. Instead, we are free to explore the vast potential of our true nature. "You are the sky," says Pema Chodron. "Everything else is just the weather." In this space of unity and compassion, the boundaries between the individual and the collective dissolve. We feel the energy of the universe flowing through us, and we realize that we are not separate from it. This energy is the same force that moves the stars, the same force that brings life to the earth. It is within us, and it is all around us. As we deepen our meditation, we align ourselves with this energy, allowing it to flow through us and bring healing, peace, and clarity. This second phase of the meditation is about deepening our connection with this inner stillness and recognizing our place within the larger web of existence. It is about letting go of the small self and embracing the greater whole. As we do, we find that the peace we seek is not something to be found outside of us. It is already within us, waiting to be uncovered. "Be still," says Psalm 46:10, "and know that I am God." In this stillness, we come to know not only ourselves, but the deeper truths that underlie all of existence, uncovering the depths of inner clarity. As we journey further into the depths of meditation, we begin to notice an increasing sense of clarity emerging from within. This clarity is not the sharpness of intellectual understanding, but rather a soft, intuitive knowing. It is the wisdom that arises from silence and stillness, a deeper recognition of the truth of who we are. In this state, we see beyond the surface of our lives and the roles we play. We come into contact with our authentic self, the part of us that is untouched by the distractions and challenges of the outer world. In this place of inner clarity, we begin to witness life with new eyes. There is no rush, no pressure to be anything other than what we are in this very moment. The need to constantly strive and achieve begins to fade, replaced by a quiet acceptance of what is. The renowned Zen master Shunryu Suzuki once said, "The most important thing is to find out what is the most important thing." In this part of meditation, we gain a clearer sense of what truly matters, not the external circumstances of our lives, but the inner state of peace and understanding. The noise of everyday life often clouds our vision, making it difficult to see clearly. But in the quiet of meditation, the fog lifts, and we are able to view ourselves and our world with greater perspective. This perspective reveals that many of the worries and concerns that occupy our minds are in fact fleeting and inconsequential. Like waves crashing on the shore, they rise and fall, but ultimately leave no lasting mark. As Eckhart Tolle reminds us, worry pretends to be necessary but serves no useful purpose. In this third part of the meditation, we come to understand that clarity is not something to be achieved. It is something to be uncovered. It is always present, waiting to be revealed when we quiet the mind and open the heart. As we continue this journey, we realize that the clarity we seek is not outside of us, but within us. It is the natural state of our being, a state of peace, understanding, and joy. Within you, says Deepak Chopra, is a stillness and a sanctuary to which you can retreat at any time and be yourself. This part of the meditation teaches us to trust in this inner clarity, to listen to the wisdom of our hearts, and to let go of the need to constantly seek answers from the outside world. As we do, we begin to experience life from a place of inner knowing, where the answers are already clear and the path ahead is illuminated. Embracing compassion and universal connection. As we move further into our meditation, we begin to open the heart. This is where compassion naturally arises, not only for ourselves, but for all beings. Compassion is born out of the clarity we have cultivated. When we see ourselves clearly, without judgment, we extend that same understanding and love to others. In this place of deep stillness and clarity, we recognize that we are all interconnected. The suffering and joy we experience are shared by all, and in this recognition, a profound sense of compassion takes root. This is the compassion that allows us to embrace our own imperfections and the imperfections of others. It is a gentle, unconditional acceptance of all that is. As Jack Kornfield so wisely puts it, if your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. In this moment, we begin to soften toward ourselves. We release the harsh inner critic, the voice that tells us we are not enough. Instead, we offer ourselves the same kindness we would extend to a dear friend. This is the healing power of self-compassion. From this place of self-compassion, we are naturally drawn to extend love and understanding to others. We see that everyone, in their own way, is struggling with the same basic fears, desires, and uncertainties. We understand that beneath the surface differences, we all share the same fundamental longing for peace, love, and happiness. As Thich Nhat Hanh reminds us, compassion is a verb. It is an active, living force within us, one that moves us to act with kindness and empathy in the world. In this state of deep compassion, we begin to experience a sense of unity with all living things. We realize that the boundaries between self and other are fluid, constantly shifting. The love and kindness we cultivate within ourselves naturally extend outward, touching everyone and everything we encounter. This is the realization of interconnectedness, the understanding that we are all part of the same whole. As Albert Einstein once said, a human being is part of the whole, called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings, as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. As this understanding deepens, we begin to see the world with new eyes. We are no longer isolated individuals moving through life alone. Instead, we are part of a vast, interconnected web of life. This realization brings with it a profound sense of belonging. We are not separate from the world. We are an integral part of it. This sense of belonging allows us to move through life with greater ease and confidence, knowing that we are supported by the universe. As Ram Dass so beautifully said, we're all just walking each other home. In this part of the meditation, we may begin to sense the presence of this universal connection more deeply. Perhaps we feel it in the rhythm of our breath, the beating of our heart, or the subtle energy that flows through our body. This is the life force, the vital energy that animates all living things. It connects us to the earth, to the stars, and to each other. This energy is infinite, and it is always available to us. When we open ourselves to it, we align with the flow of life itself. As we deepen our connection to this energy, we may also notice a growing sense of compassion for the planet and all its inhabitants. We understand that our actions have a direct impact on the world around us, every thought, word, and deed affecting the whole. This awareness inspires us to live more mindfully, to act with kindness and care toward ourselves, others, and the earth. As environmentalist and poet Wendell Berry wrote, "The earth is what we all have in common." This compassion for the earth extends to all living beings. We begin to see the interconnectedness of all life. The trees, the animals, the oceans, the stars. Everything is part of the same vast web of existence, and everything is deserving of our love and respect. In this realization, we find a deep sense of reverence for life. We understand that every being, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, plays a vital role in the ecosystem of the planet. This understanding brings with it a sense of responsibility, a desire to protect and nurture the earth and all its inhabitants. As we rest in this state of compassion and connection, we may feel a sense of lightness, a lifting of the burdens we so often carry. We realize that we are not alone in our struggles, that we are supported by the love and compassion of others. This realization allows us to let go of the need to control, to strive, or to prove ourselves. Instead, we can simply be, trusting that we are enough just as we are. Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries, said the Dalai Lama. Without them, humanity cannot survive. In this fourth part of the meditation, we come to understand that compassion is not something we have to cultivate through effort or willpower. It is the natural expression of our true nature. When we quiet the mind and open the heart, compassion arises spontaneously. It flows from the deep well of love that exists within each of us, connecting us to ourselves, to others, and to the world. This compassion is both the source and the expression of our inner peace. As we continue our meditation, we allow this compassion to flow freely, touching every aspect of our being and radiating outward into the world. In this space of compassion, we find healing, both for ourselves and for the world. We realize that by healing ourselves, we are also healing the world, and by healing the world, we are healing ourselves. This is the power of interconnectedness. Our task must be to free ourselves, wrote Albert Einstein, by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. Finding peace in presence and completing the circle. As we reach the final stage of this meditation, we arrive at a place of deep peace and contentment. This is the peace that arises when we fully accept the present moment, exactly as it is. We no longer seek to change or escape our current experience. Instead, we surrender to it, trusting that everything is unfolding as it should. This is the essence of presence, being here, now, without resistance or judgment. The peace we experience in this state of presence is not dependent on external circumstances. It is not the absence of conflict or difficulty, but rather an inner stillness that remains unshaken, no matter what is happening around us. This is the peace described by spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle, who said, "You find peace not by rearranging the circumstances of your life, but by realizing who you are at the deepest level." In this moment, we recognize that peace is our true nature, always available to us. As we rest in this state of presence, we may notice that time seems to slow down or even disappear altogether. We are no longer caught up in thoughts of the past or the future. Instead, we are fully immersed in the present moment, where life unfolds with a quiet, effortless grace when we are fully present. As we rest in this state of presence, we may notice that time seems to slow down or even disappear altogether. We are no longer caught up in thoughts of the past or the future. Instead, we are fully immersed in the present moment, where life unfolds with a quiet, effortless grace. This is the timeless state of being that many spiritual traditions speak of, the eternal now, where all is well and we are at peace. The present moment is filled with joy and happiness, writes Thich Nhat Hanh. If you are attentive, you will see it. In this final part of the meditation, we come to understand that presence is not something we need to achieve. It is not a state we need to force or strive for. Rather, it is our natural state of being, always available when we let go of the distractions and busyness of the mind. When we stop trying to control or manipulate our experience, we discover that presence is already here, waiting for us to notice it. As Lao Tzu wisely said, "Do you have the patience to wait until your mud settles and the water is clear?" The more we practice resting in presence, the more we realize that this is the key to true peace and happiness. We no longer need to seek fulfillment in external achievements, possessions, or relationships. While these things may bring temporary satisfaction, they cannot provide the lasting peace that comes from within. As the Buddha taught, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. In this moment, we understand that everything we have been searching for is already here in the present moment. This realization brings with it a deep sense of contentment. We no longer feel the need to chase after happiness or avoid discomfort. Instead, we embrace life as it is, knowing that every experience, whether pleasant or unpleasant, is part of the greater flow of life. This acceptance allows us to move through life with greater ease and grace, trusting that we are always supported by the universe. As author and teacher Byron Katie says, "When you argue with reality, you lose, but only 100% of the time." In this state of presence, we also begin to notice the simple beauty of life. We become more aware of the small moments that often go unnoticed. The warmth of the sun on our skin, the sound of birds singing, the gentle rhythm of our breath. These moments, while seemingly insignificant, hold the key to true happiness. When we are fully present, even the most ordinary moments become extraordinary. As poet Mary Oliver wrote, "To pay attention, this is our endless and proper work." As we conclude this meditation, we carry with us the peace, clarity, compassion, and presence that we have cultivated throughout the practice. These qualities are not something we leave behind when we end our meditation. They are part of who we are, always available to us in every moment of our lives. We understand that meditation is not just something we do on the cushion or in silence. It is a way of being, a way of living with greater awareness, love, and acceptance. In the words of Jon Kabat-Zinn, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. We cannot control the ups and downs of life, but through meditation, we learn to ride the waves with greater ease and resilience. We learn to trust in the flow of life, knowing that everything is temporary and that we are always capable of finding peace, no matter what challenges come our way. As we close this meditation, we are reminded that the peace we seek is already within us. It is not something we need to find or create, but something we need to uncover. When we quiet the mind and open the heart, we discover that peace, love, and joy are our natural state of being. This is the gift of meditation, a return to our true self, where we find everything we have been searching for. In this final moment, we take with us the understanding that meditation is not about escaping life, but embracing it fully. It is about meeting each moment with presence, compassion, and love. As Rumi so beautifully said, "Close your eyes, fall in love, stay there." We carry this wisdom with us as we return to our daily lives, knowing that we can always come back to this place of peace, no matter where we are or what we are doing. This is the completion of the circle, the realization that the journey is never really finished, for it is not a destination but a way of being. Each moment is a new beginning, a new opportunity to live with presence, clarity, compassion, and peace.